Morning, welcome to the shed. It's another grey day today, don't know what's happened to the summer. Okay, so we're doing a proper shed project today, or over the next couple of days. I mentioned in the last video that I need to create a cyclone for my hoover, because as soon as you put any kind of sawdust into a normal hoover, it just clogs up the filter straight away. So what you do is you put in a cyclone chamber in between the motor and the hose. So I'm going to make one out of this. One of my subscribers, I'll put a link there, suggested I use an old Hoover tub. Unfortunately I haven't got one of those, so I went to B&Q, got myself one of these. My plan is to, well, I'll make this upside down, but I'm going to cut a disc that fits in there, and then a square that goes around that, and that'll be the top of my bin. So I'll then build a box around the whole thing. The lid will fit in. Hopefully, I might need a bit of weight on it to hold it, get a good seal on there. And then, I don't know if you know how a cyclone works, but basically one sucker goes in there, and then the hose goes in the side like this. Sorry, that'll be on the inside, and that creates a cyclone, hence the name. Inside that bin, and all of your dust settles at the top, and only pretty much pure air goes out the top. Okay, let's get started. First job is to try and cut that disc, which I don't have any special way of doing that. I'm going to do that by hand on the bandsaw. Yeah, see how it fits. Okay, also you might notice that I've covered up my graffiti because it was a bit weird. It kept blending in with my grey hair, so I thought I'd cover it up with a bit of cardboard. Okay, let's crack on. I'm using 1/2-inch ply for this project. Don't think I need to go 3/4, this should be fine. So now I've got to find a way of transferring that diameter, internal diameter, onto here, because I need it to drop just inside. Can't be that difficult, can it? Turns out my lovely builder's square has got a scribing thingy on it, so I can, if I take this bottom bit off, try not to lose those. So first thing I need to do is find the middle near enough. Doesn't have to be spot on, but okay. Then taking a bradawl, I think that's called. I think it's got another name as well, but that's the one I'm going to use. Remember those from your woodworking lessons? Knew they'd come in handy at some point. Okay, so I've got a little point here that I can scribe. And it needs to be half that, doesn't it? Got me worried there. There you go. Can't see that, but that's as near a perfect circle as I'll ever draw. Okay, let's cut that out on the bandsaw. Then it'll be coffee break. Now my compass gauge thingy, whatever, on my square only goes up in centimetres, so I had to go to the nearest one and then cut it slightly less by going on the inside of the line, so hopefully it'll be alright. Yep, that's close enough, that'll drop in there. Yep, that's good actually, nice tight fit. Put a nice square bit on the top of that and make the box around it. Brilliant. Now it really is coffee break. So got myself a cup of coffee, lovely. Hungry caterpillar, classic. Yeah, so before I build the box, I need to make sure I get my measurements right, because you've got to measure twice, cut once, as I learned in the previous bit. Yeah, so when I cut my box, I've got to make sure that I've got enough room for my pipe to be, so the pipe will be inside there, probably about 2/3 of the way up. It's got to have enough room to, you know, fill up with sawdust, but not be too close to the vent, so it just goes straight in one and out the other. Yeah, so I've got to make sure I've got enough room for that. I also need my hole cutter for that, so I might even cut this hole, line everything up. I might have to buy a little elbow joint for that, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably. And then it'll actually go that way. The hose or the pipe will go back down through the top, so that I can lift the whole thing out in one. That's the idea. Cool. All right, let's go off to Screwfix or wherever it is I'm going and buy some hole cutters, maybe some pipes. Okay, so I'm back from Tool Station. Not sponsored by Tool Station, but I can be if they're interested. Yeah, so I've bought myself a hole saw or hole cutter. So you're getting a bonus unboxing here. Looks all right. Cost me £6.38. It's not going to be brilliant. I don't think it's going to be. If I was a professional, I don't think it would last me very long. So what do we got? We've got a drill. We've got that thing. Not quite sure what that's for. Yeah, anyway, and we've got various cutting doobies, cutters. So what I've got to do is find one that's the right size for my pipe, and then I shall cut into my tub. I'm actually going to cut, well, actually just over halfway up, because I'm a little bit worried that I might end up sucking the dust through if I have it too high. So I'd rather empty it more often and not have that problem, although I can put a pipe in to sort of adjust that. In fact, yeah, I can do that anyway. Okay, I'll assemble this, we'll go for our hole and see how we get on. Actually, a few hours have passed since I went to Tool Station. When I got back, I had some lunch, went to walk the dog, took him out for a walk. He's in a bit of a funny mood at the moment. Anyway, he ended up rolling in fox poo. So I've had to bath the dog, sort him out. He's now in disgrace in the house. Yeah, so that's why there's been a bit of a delay, but you obviously haven't seen that. So, okay. I do need to drill a hole through here and glue it to the top of the box. But I'm not going to do that until I've got my pipes in position, so I know exactly how tight the box has to be. The idea will be that that will sit on top of the tub inside the box, and the weight hopefully and the suction should pull it all together, so I don't have to worry about seals or other marine mammals. So it turns out that fitting isn't quite correct. That's not got a 40mm internal diameter. It has this side, but not that side. It's like a push fit one. So I need to come up with some kind of idea to either put a flexible hose in there or something to make it work, or I'll have to go and buy the right thing. Might end up doing that. Right, managed to find a solution using available materials. So I used a bit of flexible hose that I had lying around. Probably got to buy some more of that anyway, so I was happy with that. I used this pipe to join, you can't see it, but in there there's a bit of flexible hose that fitted inside the pipe. I threaded it through the hole, and it also threads inside this pipe. So it's a bit flexible, but I can tighten that up, and I can also adjust it. It's not going to be a super duper Cyclone, but if necessary I can always put a bit of flexible hose there anyway. So what I've got to do now, trim that down to the right length. I'm not quite sure what that is yet. I'll get it as tight as I can. I'll have an up pipe, I'll have a up pipe going that way. No, that is the right way. Yeah, up pipe going that way, and then I can build my box around it. Getting there. Never easy, is it? Right, so we had some progress. I had to use glue in the end to fix the two halves together because my screws are too long, but that's not a problem, that'd be plenty. So you might have seen I had to sort of countersink one of these holes, make it slightly larger because that isn't quite thick enough to get a grip on both. But yeah, we're all good. This is all, don't know if you can see that. Let me move my drill. That's oh bugger. Yeah, that's all working now. That's glued in position in the upright. I'm going to put an upright on there. I'm not going to glue that yet because I'm not 100% sure how long it is. And then I've got my feed in here. Should give us a bit of a Cyclone. It's not perfect. Those are the pipes I've got, so that's what I'm using. So yeah, fairly happy with that. Got to leave that for a few hours. Once I've finished that bit, I've just got to build a box around it and connect it all up. Should be good. Okay, see you a bit later. Morning, it's the next day. So the glue is set overnight. I've also glued the pipes in position. This one here. This one's a press fit. So is that one. I'm not really sure how I'm going to be using this yet, so I've just kind of left it long so that I can adjust it. It fits okay. I did test it with the Hoover, and I think I've got some leakage. So I'm guessing my wood to plastic seal isn't as good as I thought it was. Not worried about that at the moment. I will get some, when silicone arrives, I will create a silicone seal band around there, and that should sort it out. Okay, so we're going to make the box. I'm going to do this on time lapse because it will be pretty boring otherwise. The idea is that the whole lot of this will sit into a box, and yeah, that's it. Don't think I'll put it on casters yet, but maybe later. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use it yet. Okay, let's do it. Right, I finished preparing my boards. They're all the right size, hopefully, near enough. A bit of warpage in some of these boards, but I think we can probably screw that together. That'll come apart. That'll come away. I've drilled all my pocket hole screws. Hopefully got them all in the right place. Hopefully I've got enough room to get the drill in there. Hopefully I feel reasonably prepared. So I'm going to assemble that. I'm not going to do that on camera, but I'll assemble this. I'm going to use a bit of glue as well, just to give it a bit of a seal. And yeah, hopefully after that we should have a finished box. And then all we've got to do is clean it up. Right, my box is complete. Made a few errors, messed up some of the holes on the inside. I've also learned something, and that's that the pocket screws are brilliant if you're doing a T-junction, but to an end there's just not enough room and the screw just slips out. So T-junction's good, end box joint not good, just the screws come out. So I'm going to kind of just accept that that's how it is. It is after all just a Hoover Cyclone box. Right, let's see if the lid fits. This would be a laugh on it if it doesn't. Well, the bin fits. Probably got a bit too much room in there, really. Never mind. And then my pipe. And my centre pipe. Which I'll quickly fix back together again. Okay. Moment of truth. Nearly. What have I ever gone wrong here? Something's not quite right there. Oh, maybe my bin isn't. Perhaps I should put it into the bin first. Okay, that fits. It's not brilliant. It's not perfect, but it'll certainly do the job. That'll go in the corner over there. I'll probably give it a coat of varnish when I've next got the varnish out, and maybe chamfer off these top edges, stop me getting some splinters. But that's about what I'm going to do. Okay, next thing is just to give it a quick test. I've got loads of sawdust, as you can imagine, so coffee, shed tidy, then we'll run a little test. I know that my compression or my suction is a bit low, but I think it should be good enough to do a test. Or I need to put my maker's mark on there somewhere. Okay, cool. Okay, so I finished my box, about to do a little test. There's plenty of sawdust about. I've had a bit of a tidy up. My shed seems to be getting smaller. This is supposed to make it tidier, but I think it's actually bigger than it should be. Anyway, I'll have to find somewhere to mount it, maybe in the corner there on the wall or somewhere. Buy some hose so that I'm not restricted by hoses. Okay, so I have cleaned the filter in the main Hoover. I've added a bit of cling film around the top of the seal of the bucket, because I think that's where the air was getting in. Seems to be a bit better, but I will do a proper silicone seal once I've got my silicone. So we're going to do a test. That's empty, that's empty. I'm going to Hoover up. Hopefully not very much will make it to the Hoover. I know you can't see that, but there's a Hoover there and a box here. And if it's working, most of the dust should end up in the bucket. So we're going to run a test. As I say, I've got loads of dust to clear up. I'll go time lapse because you don't want to see a bloke hoovering his shed, do you really? Okay, back to you in a mo. Okay, that should be enough for a little test. Yeah, it's not a lot of use with a 3-foot hose, has to be said. Okay, let's take the top off. That's sealed right. How do I do this? Reasonable amount of sawdust in there. Oh, just realised I hadn't got my angle bit on there. Ah, that wasn't very clever, was it? So I wasn't actually doing a cyclone. I was doing just a sort of... Never mind. Tiny bit of dust in there. I think we can improve that. Brilliant. I think we call that a success. these to one side. It's getting quite hot in the shed today. It's a bit warm outside. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I'll show you that when it's in situ and working properly, when I've got to go and buy a length of hose, because it's without a long length of hose it's no use. But thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and look out for the next video, which is going to be a fishing video with a difference, hopefully. Okay, see you later.